we're here with our mascot, the Story Dude. So please, like the video, subscribe to Story Dude, and let's get into the stories.
Am I the asshole for evicting our tenants of 22 years? Edit 4. I sent this to my husband. He told me when he was there in April, installing a new hot water tank, that he told them, well, the dad, that we'd likely be giving notice this summer. Edit 3. It seems 2 months is not enough notice. I have sent them an email giving them an addition 2 months, bringing it up to 4 months notice. Our son is 22 years old. When he was born we bought a second home, always with the intention of gifting it to him when he was an adult. It's a modest home, 2-bedroom bungalow, with a developed basement that has an additional room, about 10 minutes from where we live. When we bought it we listed it for rent, and a lovely couple started renting. They went on to have 6 children. They chose not to move and continue living in the 3-bedroom home with the kids. The dad works, the mom stays home. Important to note that we bought this home in 2000. Even with a 15-year mortgage, the mortgage was quite low, and the rent not much more than the mortgage. We've only raised the rent 4 times in the 22 years they have lived there, and the rent is still well below average for our area. I did look it up. An average rent where we are for a similar house is $2,600 per month. Our renters have been paying $1,300 per month. When they started renting we did talk to them. We did tell them this house was eventually for our son. We never actually expected to have the same renters for 22 years. Our son graduated university in June, and has been staying with us since then. But he's a responsible young man and we decided that Christmas would be a good time to gift him this home. At the beginning of September we talked to our tenants and gave them a 2-month election notice. Figuring we'd have November, December to get the house cleaned and any repairs done. Understandably they are not happy. They have been posting all over social media about what bad people we are, kicking them out, how they can't afford to rent anything big enough for their family. Their oldest kid, 19, even found my son on Facebook and sent him a horrible message. He had no idea we were planning to gift this to him. Their Facebook posts have been shared in our local community groups and everyone is commenting about what evil landlords we are. Am I the asshole for evicting long-term tenants so our son can move in? Edit to add. We did mention gifting the house to our son when he started university. So we told them when they moved in 2000, and when he started uni in 2018. Edit 2. It wasn't a legal eviction notice. We also didn't break the lease. 5 years ago they decided not to renew as they thought they might buy soon and moved to a month-to-month lease. TF kinda entitled nonsense is going on here where people are calling you a villain. All renters know they aren't paying for their own mortgage and they have no entitlement to your property whatsoever. They're on a month-to-month lease. You're telling them that lease is ending. They should have saved up money for this. 60 days is a great deal of notice for people who told you years ago that they wanted to buy a house and didn't want to resign the lease. This bullshit about getting a house you didn't pay for is just a load of bullshit. You did. Your credit is on that house. You did the down payment, which is what allows the mortgage to be so low, and the home loan is in your name. Not the asshole. These comments are so entitled. Am I the asshole for kicking a server out of my wedding? I, 25 female, and my husband, 30 and I got married last Friday. We planned our dream wedding down to our dream catering company. The wedding was beautiful. After the pictures we headed to our cocktail hour, and that's when I saw her. My guests were all told to wear dark colors so my husband and I stood out. I also asked my guests to wear minimal makeup. I had assumed that applied to the staff too. The server, 19 ISHF, had on clearly too much eyeliner. She also had diamond studs in her ears, a flashy ring, and one of those ugly nose studs. The staff's uniform was a black long-sleeved shirt, but on her, it was too low-cut and her pants were far too tight. It was super distracting. She was walking around serving drinks and talking to my guests. I asked another member of the staff to speak to their boss. When their boss came out I pointed out the server and asked that she be dealt with cause she was super distracting. Their boss apologized and called the server back into the kitchen. Not even an hour later the server was back out serving food for dinner. I called the boss over again and asked if the server could work in the back or go home. Her boss said they were short-staffed tonight so she would see what can be done. After a couple of hours of not seeing her, I saw the server again behind the bar. I called the boss out one last time and told her if the server didn't leave I would be calling the cops. The boss finally relented and told the girl to go home. And #X200B. My husband and mother-in-law said I was acting crazy and that I probably got a poor college kid fired over nothing. My mother and Mo said it's my wedding so I can do as I please. It's my wedding and I don't want someone overshining me, and the server should know she's at work and not dress up so much. I do feel kinda bad because she was pretty young. Am I the ass? You are the asshole, but don't worry. I'm sure the catering team will get it right at your next wedding. YTA. Too bad you didn't get to enjoy your wedding reception because you couldn't stop obsessing over a college-aged server. The things that you objected to in the server could have been fixed. She could have removed her jewelry. The boss could have given her a shirt that covered her better. But you didn't want it fixed, you chose to complain about her and not the offending items. This was entirely your choice to not enjoy yourself. You are the asshole. You sound absolutely insane. And you definitely didn't get her fired. I'm sure all the servers had a laugh about it after. Who spends so much energy on their wedding day because a server was wearing too much eyeliner and earrings? You are the asshole. You need therapy. This is not normal. I can't imagine how insecure you must be, that you felt a woman in a server's uniform was overshining you at your own wedding. Lol. You are the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my overweight sister she should wear clothes that fit her? I, 30 female. Love my sister, 24. We get along great. Growing up, not so much. My sister has always struggled with other weight issues to the point that we were never allowed to use the word fat, even if it wasn't to describe a person. She had worked through a lot of her confidence issues, but once our mom passed she regressed mentally and began binge eating. She is now much heavier but refuses to buy new clothes. This has been over the past couple of years. I never said anything before because of how sensitive this topic is for her. Well, she got a big girl job. She started a week ago. We met up for lunch and as she walked in and her stomach was hanging out. She fixed it but then it immediately came out again. I asked her if she was WFH or in the office. She said in the office and I told her her stomach was out and she said that she knew and was fixing it all day. I told her to go shopping with me this weekend and we'll get clothes that fit her and I'll pay since she hasn't gotten a check. She said they do fit her and that I shouldn't body shame her. I explained that she can wear whatever she wants but it's not appropriate for an office job. She started crying and stormed out. Amita? Not the asshole. This is not okay for an office job. You were not body shaming her. You were simply stating she needed a shirt that covered her belly. I don't care what anyone says in this sub, you were not body shaming her. Not the asshole. It's better to come from someone who loves her than from HR when there has been a complaint about the dress code. Not the asshole. She's dressing unprofessionally for her job. You're offering to pay for new clothes and want the best for her. But it might be best to go a gentler way about it. Saying let's go shopping instead if buying new clothes because those don't fit. Am I the asshole for bringing up an embarrassing story? A week ago I went out with friends and one, John, got so drunk they couldn't walk. My friend was going to Uber John home but I said I'll let him sleep at my place. When we got to my apartment John got out of the car, fell asleep in a puddle when it was raining like crazy. I had to drag him inside. I leave him there and he's twitching his head and can barely move. He was dead weight. I went into another room and he peed himself. The next day John was extremely embarrassed. He said he was sorry he was a burden and thankful I took care of him. He made me take $50 to buy cleaning supplies and bought me breakfast then Uber to his car. He cleaned up too. I didn't see him since until a friend had a dinner party. At the dinner party I kept saying, John had an uh-oh the other day. John, why don't you tell everyone? Then he kept saying no and this isn't respectful of his boundaries to keep pushing if he said no. Then I showed everyone a video of John twitching and passed out because I thought it was harmless and funny. John was like this isn't the place and then I was like John tell everyone what happened. The next day John texted me, listen sorry I was a burden, but I didn't intentionally do that. I think it was unnecessary and cruel you tried to humiliate me at a dinner party with all our peers, then blocked me. I didn't think it was a big of a deal as he made it. Am I the asshole for sharing an embarrassing story of a friend? You are the asshole. People are horrified to have their worst moment publicized. Good on you for helping him in the first place, but unless John considers his behavior a worthy story to tell, it's not your prerogative to tell it. You are the asshole he told you he didn't want the story told, shared and you shared it with video. Also taking video of someone in a state like that for use like this is also pretty poor form. You owe your friend a huge apology. You are the asshole. He asked you to stop showing something embarrassing that he couldn't help doing. You decide, in your infinite wisdom, to show the video after he asked you to stop. You did this to embarrass him at his expense. I wonder if you would find it hilarious if you could barely move, pee on yourself, and then have everyone see the video and laugh at you.